Welcome back, everybody, to EWF Horizon. I am your host, Chorp Scorper, here, right next to Gunnar Garrett here on commentary in, I guess, Fort Worth, Texas. How are you doing, Gunnar?
You know what? I'm still mad about... I won't state exactly what it was about the words that was said backstage about my choice to join Dead Man's Hand, but here, I'm out of professional courtesy right now. We'll just get
well, better you than Wheeler.
Oh, you had a real tough time, so...
Anyways, glad to have you back, Gunnar. Anyways, coming down to the ring is Kamikaze, I believe, making his first time appearing on EWF Horizon. He is a worldwide hardcore wrestler, man.
I like the one glove. It's like he's... Have you seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog? It's kind of like the end of that, but only halfway.
Are you implying that he's going to break out into song and dance?
Yeah, exactly. Next week he's going to be managed by Bad Horse, that's a fact.
Well, his opponent for tonight might not be willing to break out into song and dance of his own here. It's Chris, the Leviathan Sierra, the monster of EWF Horizon. Last week he lost to Marc Gargano by countout because Marc Gargano ran through all of his options and that was the only one he had left.
I mean, I don't blame him. It is the smart choice. Try pinning someone that size. It's not gonna happen.
All the beef, all the muscle, all the oil and sweat.
And conditioner from the hair.
Are you gonna judge him? I mean...
No, you're damn right I'm not.
Oh, good gravy. This man has been on an absolute dominant streak here in EWF Horizon. Like, even his loss to Marc Gargano, like, that was what Wheeler referred to as Wheeler strats, which is, kind of cheesing it a bit. Right off the cravat suplex! God. Jesus!
But yeah, can I say something about the Leviathan right here? Backstage, I'm a big fan of facial hair, so backstage I walked up to him, try and get a nice little rapport. Hey, nice beard, man, that's what I said. He just looked at me and grunted at me.
He's very no-nonsense.
Last time I compliment his beard.
Oh god, he's already got Kamikaze in the corner. Kamikaze's barely got an attempt to fight back here in this match. No, wait!
The glove, that was the gloved hand.
Uh-oh, you think he's hiding something in there like Mark with... Oh god, the double knees! Ooh!
Yeah,
right to the sternum, knocking the air right out of him. Oh no. Good lord.
Leviathan
Jesus.
Cometh. Right off
Leviathan
the bat.
cometh, and his opponent goeth to night sleep.
Goeth to hospital.
Go to the local medical facility.
You're right, we can't say hospital.
I mean, we've said wrestler like half a dozen times, so I don't know. Anyways, Chris the Leviathan Sierra making dominant work of Kamikaze here. Holy shit.
Really not paid for by the hour.
I think he might have just had something to get out of his system after Marc Gargano screwed him over. The fans are a lot more in favor of Chris since last time when... I suppose facing Marc Gargano will do that to somebody, you know.
That's a fair point. It's the beanie. It gathers a lot of hatred.
Speaking of big oily men, the brothers in blood. On the left, Zulite the Great. On the right, the final boss. While Zulite the Great might not have had the best of luck in one-on-one action, these two are undefeated in tag team action, and they've won quite convincingly in all of their fights so far.
You're bringing up traumatic memories for me here.
I believe they've been calling out quite a few names backstage in EWF.
I don't know, like, ever since the match, I was a big fan of them beforehand. But ever since the match with them, I've completely soured on them. So
which match? Oh yeah.
Which match?
You better have a bit of experience with these two. Speaking of brothers in blood, we've got the brothers in black singlets coming down to the ring. Chase Galloway and Peter Dunn. These two have also had, similar to Zulite the Great, have had not the best of luck in the one-on-one scene, so they have decided to come together and combine their rage to form the next great late bait tag team in EWF. I tried.
Not bait, that's the other guy. This is done.
Yeah. Oh.
Did we get a timer on how quickly Dunn lost last week?
Yeah, that was I don't really want him to break my hand, so I'm just gonna keep that information to myself over here.
Was it just answer honestly though? Was it the fastest loss?
I am not entirely sure. We are still gathering statistics across the history of EWF as to the fastest loss. I believe some matches lasted only less than a minute, and I'm pretty sure that it went on for more than a minute. So I think Dunn is safe. But
we're not taking Ngon Bito into account.
The MMA expertise of Jace Galloway is not necessarily coming in handy against the sheer force and brutality of Zulite the Great here. Just in the court. Wait, the final boss off his shoulders! Oh my god, the double team maneuver!
I have never seen that. It's kind of like a inverted suplex into a spear, maybe?
To a standing spear.
A standing spear. What do you call that?
Oh, good. Has Jace gotten any hits? I think he got a punch in at the start. I'm not sure.
That's good on him.
Peter's reaching for it. Oh! Knee to the gut. He's still standing.
I think he just annoyed him.
Oh, Jesus. Down goes Jace. Oh, the final.
Talking about a movie reference, Jace is now like that guy at the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just completely pancaked.
Oh. Oh, the final boss giving Peter Dunn a look, telling him to stay out of this.
Yeah, retract your hand, buddy boy, you don't want a part. And that's the part. As much as I dislike them, I will say, from being in that match, they hit hard. Obviously we all know final boss looking at him is gonna hit hard. But even Zulite, I think it's thrown off by the fact of how big. Oh, is this it? Oh, no, it's not. But I think it's thrown off by how big final boss is. But Zulite's also a pretty big guy. You know?
Yeah, Zulite is a vicious individual. Oh, almost landing the super kick there. Jace Galloway stopping it in the nick of time, but getting hit with another kick. Chops!
My God, is this match taking place in Japan?
Oh, good Lord, go to sleep! Oh my God, Jace Galloway. Almost getting the big win for the brothers in black singlets. And speaking of the other brother, here comes Peter Dunn.
That's the interesting part too, though, because we talked about how the only loss that they've had was singles competition with Zulite. If Zulite loses again in tag team comp and costs them both their undefeated streaks, well, that would affect the dynamic for sure.
Oh yeah, the final boss would probably not be the biggest fan of that, but then again, he doesn't really seem to be the vocal type as so much as Zulite is. Zulite was definitely the more bombastic of the two, coming down to the ring. Ref. I don't think the ref saw it.
I don't think the ref wanted to see it.
I don't. Is that illegal? I'm not entirely sure. I guess he wasn't. I mean, he's in the match, so I guess.
I mean, he's not disqualified, so that's all that matters.
Fair enough. I guess.
You do what you can to win.
I don't know if this is the smartest idea from Peter Dunn, taking a fight against the professional hardcore wrestler to the outside, but he is using his speed to his advantage here. Beautiful double underhook suplex into the barricade.
God, I'm still questioning, even though he seems to have gotten the better hand of it, I'm still questioning that idea of bringing them to the outside, now smartly bringing them back in.
Peter Dunn, Peter Dunn with no fear right in front of the final boss.
God, he looked directly at him.
Peter Dunn knows no fear.
But here's the problem with doing that. Now, as soon as Zulite's reversed it, he's not got all the way to travel. He's only got a foot.
Oh, Peter Dunne playing smart. He's been playing smart for a while now, trying to prevent Zulite the Great from getting to his corner. Although he's allowing him to get pretty close, so he should probably take more drastic measures.
it's a cliche thing that commentators say during tag matches, but you've got to cut off the ring. You've got to keep the opponent on your side of the ring, because you're not going to get in 100% of the offense.
Yeah, that's something I can tell you from my time commenting for DWF, that if you don't cut off the ring, you will lose. So that may as well be the case here by Peter Dunne. Reversing it, yanking on the arm. He loves to work over that arm, which is something... Oh, Jesus! Ref! Oh, his back was to the ref. Good God.
That's a smart move. Somewhere, Wheeler's getting really annoyed by this arm work.
Oh, absolutely. Did you just say hand mark?
Yeah, that too.
Beautiful tiger suplex from Zulite the Great.
I'm much more of a fan of what Zulite did there. He went for the back, and oh no. if you
don't have your kidneys, you won't be able to donate them. Peter Dunne getting smacked down to the mat. Oh my God, Zulite the Great. What is he doing tossing Chase out of the ring while the final boss gets the pin?
Just off of that one move, momentum has changed.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute dominant victory for the Brothers in Blood as their tag team streak continues. If a tag team division forms here in EWF, these two might be at the very, very top. Holy hell.
And the thing is as well, it's always rough when you're a new formed tag team and your first match is a loss. So there could be some interesting drama to pick up backstage at some point between these two as well.
Yeah, the Brothers in the Black Singlets really wanted this tag team win to give them some momentum, but then again, somebody, I won't name who, Ambassador who, decided that this would be their first matchup, so, rough.
It's the cruelest game of eeny, meeny, miny, mo I've ever seen.
Zulite the Great, the final boss, two absolute units. We move on to our main event of the night. Fans having no idea which one to cheer for. As Marc Gargano, the most loathsome figure in all of EWF, makes his way to the ring. The boos are deafening.
That man really needs a jockstrap going on.
What?
No, I've sat by for many weeks. That man just needs to get something figured out.
I mean, hey, he's got the beanie. That's all the protection he needs.
Good point. Maybe Jenga's like his testes are on his head or whatever. That's his weak spot. We figured it out.
Well, we did see last week that he hides his brass knuckles underneath that beanie, so that's always a sight to behold.
That's a good point. I imagine underneath that beanie he's like a Brian the Brain.
I mean, we've seen him without his beanie before. We know he has a head of glorious yellow locks, so... Marc Gargano taking his sweet-ass time coming down to the ring. Just sort of hobbling up there.
You saw the "You're crazy" sign. I agree, he's in Texas, and look at all the layers he's wearing.
That's a good point.
My God, it's a bull trap. He will not be able to get out of that suit afterwards.
Well, it does have the zipper, though. Well, I don't know if that'll help that much. Marc Gargano, no theatrics, no flair. He's just there.
I will
He's ready
say,
to fight.
I do agree that there's no point playing to the audience because, like, there's a lot of... It's again a cliche view that a lot of wrestlers
I think you might have some stakes in this matchup, Gunnar Garrett, as his opponent is David the Dealer Polio.
Polio looking hench. That boy is as big as a bloody statue.
Well, he's not as big as some of the other opponents that Marc Gargano has faced, but he definitely is bigger and buffer than Marc Gargano himself, so he definitely has a strength advantage coming into this match.
And
the fans are actually slightly cheering for him, mostly because he's up against Marc Gargano.
As they should. As they should. For far too long, this man has had opportunity pass him by, well, not anymore. You'll see more and more Dead Man's Hand is coming down to the ring with him, and everyone's beginning to see, even the crowd begins to see that it's his time.
Locking up in the middle of the ring, Dave the Dealer, but no, getting shoved against the ropes, off the ropes, back and forth, all ready to start off this matchup.
Are we gonna see a leapfrog? Nope.
I think David might have been expecting the leapfrog. Out of the ring he goes, into the ring he goes. Marc Gargano caught off guard, grabbed him by the arm, lifted him up, crossing the legs. Down goes the legs.
That's a smart game plan. Here's the thing, for each of our matches backstage, all of Dead Man Hand sits together and goes over a game plan. This is being put well into effect.
For sure, and Dave is quite the reputation for destroying the legs, but here he comes after the face of Marcus Gargano.
Gargano?
Down on the mat, no! Elbow straight to the skull region. Down to the mat again. Oh my DDT! He reversed it into a DDT!
My God, that was, like, as much as I may have a very, very major bias to Paul, that was a smooth move by Gargano. Or Gargano, as you call him.
The beanie weenie, getting his arm tied behind his back. Uh-oh. Dave, the Dealer, Paul, taking him apart limb by limb. Jesus.
It's a smart move. Again, Wheeler's upset, but...
Wheeler's double upset now. Don't fix what ain't broke, says Dave the Dealer Paul.
But what is about to be broke is his arm. Am I right? Smooth.
Dave the Dealer Paul going for the dragon screw. Down to the mat goes Marcus Gargano.
He's going for anything that he can get a hold of. My God. That's a massive take. Look, there it is.
God, back and forth, back and forth. These two are fast and furious. Holy shit! Marc Gargano usually has a bigger speed advantage, but Dave is just his size enough for Marc to actually get a bit of a lift, but Dave immediately kicking out. There's a lot more that Marc has left to do in this matchup. He's going to try to wear down his limbs.
God. Couldn't quite lock in that abdominal stretch all the way in. So Paul was able to get out of it, but even still, of course, obviously the longer you're in it, it'll hurt more, but even seconds can cause some severe damage.
Holy shit, back and forth, strike out, claw to the eyes, boot to the face.
Stiff kick, brother.
Brother, indeed, brother. Brother, my brother. Marc Gargano trying to get a hold, trying to wrangle David the Dealer Paul, but David able to fight out of it.
Again, he's got the technical know-how and is able to reverse and lock in submissions real quickly, but it seems Gargano's also got a really impressive technical know-how. This could be... I don't want to try and suggest and push Ambassador into anything, but a submission match would be a highly
entertaining. Shit! Marky Mark going for the super kick. That's Derek. Derek Gunslinger up on the apron. David Paul using his strength to wrangle Marc Gargano down to the mat.
It's a numbers advantage. The Beanie just can't compete with two other members of Dead Man Hand.
Derek and Ace look very similar from the back.
They do. They really do.
Oh my God, Dave the Dealer Paul just bullying Marc Gargano. The fans are not as against it as you might assume.
It really is. It is really like bullying. You're right. Next, he's going to take Gargano's lunch money.
He's going to take off his beanie and say, nah, you can't catch it.
He'll chuck it on top of the locker, which obviously Gargano can't reach.
He'll chuck it back and forth between the members of Deadman's Hand. Gargano! Oh! Right onto the neck. The dangerousness of that maneuver.
Oh my God, ref, you got to pull him off with a pile driver. That's just not on.
Dave, the dealer, Paul, his neck getting crushed. No, out of the way of the kick. Mark just cannot land that super kick to save him, but he really damaged David, the dealer, Paul's neck. But Dave looks a bit furious. He might have some plans of his own, but he has to get back into this match. Marc Gargano
he's
back to the strategy.
Again.
Wearing him down, he's got those flexible limbs. Dave doesn't quite have that, I don't think.
He's locking it in. Obviously, we saw earlier with that kick, he's been practicing his leg calisthenics, though.
Forcing his way out of it. Brute forcing his way out of it, but that might have damaged the arm.
There's the strength
of Dave,
advantage again, though.
Oh,
there it
Dave.
Is. Flaunt it. Flaunt it.
Jesus. Boot in the mouth of Marc Gargano there.
He knows how good he is.
Holy, out of the ring. Jesus. Even against an opponent roughly his own size, Mark is still at a pretty severe strength disadvantage here.
Yeah, he's been focusing more on running than going to like heavy weights from the looks of it. Whereas
Ace Sanders looking ominously around the corner. Mark running away right as Ace Sanders went for him. Oh, Jesus.
Move that Gargano.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. Future shock DDT. Down to the mat goes Marcus Gargano. Not enough. Mark kicked out. Mark kicked out.
I'm not sure. I think that was a free. We should... I don't know.
Referee calling the 2 count there. Mark rolling out of the way. No! Right back down to the ground. Dave, no! Oh, my God. This match maintaining its energy all the way up to this point. But Paul just refusing to let Mark start running around the ring, using his speed. He's using his strength to counter Mark's ability to move around.
My God. And that just shows how smooth David Paul is. Going from a DDT to a surprise pinning combination to a submission to a limb target. You know, you just can't prepare.
It's finally got Mark a little bit woozy, but I don't know if you want Mark to be on the top rope here. What on earth? No. David!
Oh my God.
Fucking shit!
That's it. That's it. 1, 2. There it is.
Can somebody get a medic? Medic, seriously.
They can take their time. Don't worry.
Holy
focus.
shit.
Let's focus.
I think Mark,
on the down.
I think Dave might have been wanting a bit of revenge for that pile driver, so he gave. Jesus. Okay. Oh God. Dave, the dealer, Paul, hasn't whipped out that move in a while, but when he does, it is absolutely disgusting. Holy shit. Just brain buster on the top rope. Holy shit. David, the dealer, Paul, not afraid to get his hands dirty within Dead Man's Hand. Ugh.
Remember what I said a couple weeks ago when you think Dead Man Hands is they've always got a card up their sleeve. That was the card up his metaphorical sleeve.
I mean, you're not wrong, but let's take a gander at what's coming up this, Monday, not Sunday, for main event. Jonathan Moore makes his debut against Dean Santos, who Christian TK Wheeler took quite the interest to last time on Horizon, so it's interesting.
It is an interesting prospect, to be sure. I don't blame him, in all honesty.
Evie Lee taking on the Punisher, Zero Noir, even though they've, if I remember correctly, been working together a bit as of late. Evie Lee is still definitely the fan favorite going into that one, so we'll see how that one ends up Then Theodore Skullmaster, quite the veteran here in EWF, taking on the man made of gold, who we saw make his debut here on Horizon not too long ago. So we'll see if he can maintain his undefeated streak. Followed by Zestro Horror and Scott Smith taking on each other in a good old rematch.
I don't know if you've seen this, but at the next pay-per-view, it is. Let me just double check this. I'm pretty sure it's for the Rising Star Championship. It's me versus Scott Smith. So I will be keeping my eye on this match to be sure. And that's the intelligence play. You scout it out.
I mean, you're not wrong. That is a true statement. Followed by yet another match in the saga of Sabrina versus Cheryl Blonde, as Sabrina and Annie Hager takes on Liza Horror. Is it Liza? Liza?
Liza.
Liza Horror and Cheryl Blonde. A lot of bad blood between all the members of that matchup. Followed by,
it really is.
Well, we've seen some of these people here tonight. I've been speaking
Just a
with
couple.
one of them.
You know, as before it was just Gunslinger and TK Wheeler, which didn't go in his favour, but every week he's been getting better and better and better. There's so many different styles in Dead Man's Hand, and we all train each other in it, so we've all improved each other's game. And this time, I just think that with all of us at ringside too, it's just going to be a clear-cut victory. I'm making a bold prediction.
On the one hand, good point.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, it's Christian TK Wheeler.
Hey,
He's got a legacy. He's got a record going. Oof. He is the EWF World Champion, so I would not count him out of any matchup. That's for damn sure.
that's a fair point. I wonder how much Santos is going to come into play, and actually how much Wheeler is going to come into play during Santos' match too.
Well, Jonathan Moore seemed like a really, really promising prospect, so Christian might have to get involved if... well, Dean Santos was also really damn good, so I don't know. That's definitely a toss-up.
Here's the problem, though, with Dean wrestling earlier. He's going to be tired, and he's likely going to be hurt. So how much will he be able to insert himself in the main event?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what you're there for, right? To prevent Dean from getting involved and not to get involved yourself, right?
Half of that. I'll let
Anyways,
you
that
out
has been enough for... that has been all for tonight on EWF Horizon. I am your host, Chuck Scupper. Chip Skipper here. Next to me, the Rising Star Champion of EWF, Gunnar Garrett.
Constant professional. Telling you all that you should definitely check this episode, the next episode of Main Event at Stacked Card.
Whippity-doo, my dude. That's the show.